Number 3. In response to political staff, agents who usually surround the limousine were pulled away so people could see the president better. One reacted by throwing up his hands in disgust. 3 times he protested what would prove to be a fatal error.
Okay, that was an official Secret Service documentary shown on the Discovery Channel, originally broadcast in December 2009. It's been shown several times since, including, ironically, before and after the debut of the Kennedy Detail official Secret Service documentary. Several Secret Service agents helped in the production of that production called The Secrets of the Secret Service. Other than Kennedy's staff, they endorse my view, Vince Palamara's view of what that footage shows. Very ironic indeed. Cutting right to the heart of the matter. This is Henry Ribga's non-dated report. Agent Henry Ribga, who for several years I believed was the agent being recalled at Love Field. I was in error. It was an error on my part. In the big scheme of things, so what? Very, very minor. But some people, like Gerald Blaine, would have you believe this is such a big to-do. Read his report and you'll understand why. Okay, upon arrival at Love Field, Dallas, Texas, aboard Air Force One, I proceeded to the follow-up car 679X and stationed myself at the right front fender of 679X, follow-up car, in the rear of 100X, which is JFK's car. There I stopped everyone from going in between the cars. Once the motorcade began to move, I moved along with it until the motorcade picked up speed. From this point, I returned to the immediate area of Air Force One. Okay, this is in volume 25, Henry Ribga's report. Okay, so you read that report, okay, and it sounds like it's Henry Ribga. It's undated too, no date. Okay. Now, here is Jerry Blaine's book, The Kennedy Detail, written because of my research. In the interest of time, I highly recommend that you read my review, CTKA, on their website called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a review of the Kennedy Detail, a compelling but dangerous mix of fact, faction, and fiction. If printed off, this is 44 pages. It's a very lengthy and documented review of the Kennedy Detail. But specifically, I want to confront his trying to denigrate my work based on page 359 without naming me. He doesn't have the guts to name me. Another theory involving the Secret Service circulating around one of the black and white television news videos that was taken at the motorcade was departing Love Field. It showed the agents jogging alongside the presidential limousine and Emery Roberts standing up in the fob car, motioning to Don Lawton, the shift agent who had been assigned to stay at Love Field. Lawton raised his arms and in typical Don Lawton fashion said something along the lines of, "It's all yours now, guys. I've done my job. Now get out of here so I can have some lunch." There's no sign of the video. None of the experts could know what was said. None of them knew what had gone on with the advanced preparations. One self-described Secret Service expert, myself, Vince Palamara, used this 5-second video clip of no sign to jump to the assumption that Emery Roberts was telling the agent to back off, that there was no room for him on the follow-up car. There were countless blogs debating the video in which the expert erroneously named the agent in the video as driver agent Hank Ribga. Yet Ribga doesn't appear anywhere in the video clip. Despite the incorrect identification of the agent, the problem with the theory is that neither Ribga nor Lawton was scheduled to be in the motorcade. The second agent allegedly being called off as Clint Hill, I never said that, who was in the normal process of moving back to the follow-up car as the motorcade departed. The argument has no basis at all, yet people have been debating it back and forth on blogs in presenting the theory of conspiracy consciousness for years as if it were some legitimate cover-up or justifiable reason to place blame on the Secret Service. Okay? But again, based on Ribga's report, sure sounds like it's Ribga, right? And cutting to the chase, I'm admitting I'm in error. It was Don Lawton. It was not Henry Ribga. If you see Tom Dillard's photographs, and there's some motion picture too, I think it's from the Cooper film, you can see Henry Ribga jogging along with the cars. Then he comes out of view and Don Lawton comes into view. Now here's the thing. Yes, Don Lawton was interviewed for the Kennedy Detail. Do I believe that horse shit? No. Okay, O.J. Simpson denies killing Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. I guess that's good enough for me. I mean, come on, people. We're supposed to believe, based on that footage that also fooled former JFK Secret Service agent Larry Newman, the Ribka family, millions of viewers on YouTube, that other infamous video, JFK Secret Service Standdown, and many authors and researchers. Okay? You see the footage. He raises his hand 3 times, which I took to be in disgust, but 3 times. Emery Roberts definitely raises his seat in the fob car, rises from his seat, and motions with his arm to go like this. And it's supposedly Lawton saying, "It's all yours now, guys. I've done my job. Now get out of here so I can have some lunch." The guys in the fob car are all looking back stoically at him, including the non-agents, Dave Powers and Kenny O'Donnell. No one's laughing or smiling back at him, and Landis is making room for him in the fob car, but as it turns out, Lawton doesn't budge. Okay? Now you just saw Ribka's report. Also in Volume 25, here's Don Lawton's report. His is dated November 30th, 1963, 7 days after the assassination, okay? My instructions were to remain at the airport to effect security for the president's departure. Okay? He says nothing at all about moving along with the limousine the way Ribka did. Ribka's is undated, but presumably was written on or very near November 22nd. This was written 7 days after the fact. It reminds me very much of a after-the-fact, cover-your-ass type of report. Also, there was no Bain approval. Special Agent in Charge Jerry Bain. No Bain approval. However, this one is approved. This one is on official Secret Service stationery to Chief James Riley from Lawton. Okay? This is virtually written on just a blank sheet of paper. No date, no Treasury Department stationery, and no Bain approval. But again, I'm not saying it's not Lawton. It's Lawton. Because it wasn't until very recently that we had a picture of Henry Hank Ribka. Here he is. Okay? Now, I figured with sunglasses, it could still be him. But alas, here is Don Lawton walking beside JFK's car in Tampa. He rode on the rear of the car in Tampa 4 days before Dallas. He also rode on the back of the car in Chicago in March of 1963 and on countless other trips. Okay? You look at it, you say, okay, visually, there's no doubt it's Lawton. Okay? Even though you have that quandary of the official reports, okay, what sure as hell sounds like you're talking about Ribka. And it's very understandable why myself and everybody else was quote-unquote fooled, okay? But that's where that stands there. The bottom line is, even though Don Lawton is identifying himself, and it's definitely Don Lawton, you can see why the error in the agent's identity was made. It's very understandable. In the biggest scheme of things, it doesn't change my feelings about the contents of the video, as basically, ironically, endorsed by the Secret Service official documentary, Secrets of the Secret Service. I do not believe this 2010 notion from Lawton, allegedly, that, hey, I'm going to go have lunch. You guys take it from here. I don't believe that for an instant. Again, use common sense, folks. I make the O.J. analogy. O.J. adamantly denies he killed Nicole and Ron Goldman. Oh, that's good enough for me. I mean, come on. Extreme example or not. Let's look past the silly straw men. You know, it just never ceases to amaze me how people will focus on one error or alleged error and not look at the big picture, the big scheme of things. Okay? This Kennedy detail book was written because of my research. And what it boils down to is Jerry Blaine was scared because I uncovered a Secret Service cover-up having nothing to do with a conspiracy. You can have Oswald all alone in the window and no conspiracy, and my work holds up. Although I do believe there was a conspiracy, although I waffled one time before. Okay? This same expert, me, who had been interviewed for many conspiracy theory books, relentlessly blamed the Secret Service for JFK's death by using their own statements against them. In many cases, he had called agents and recorded their conversations without their knowledge. Not true. Only in a few cases, they all had the knowledge and they're deceased. When asked whether President Kennedy had ever ordered the agents off the back of his car, the agents gave him the standard line that Chief Riley requested they give. Bullshit. Again, read my CTKA online review. It's free. And as the agents upheld their code, Raleigh's words from the day of President Kennedy's funeral forever resonated in their minds. The Secret Service expert turned around and used their words to stab them and their brothers in the back with baseless accusations. Hey, it is what it is. All those former agents, and Jerry blames as a buck private, we're talking his superiors, all said that JFK was a nice man, never interfered with their actions at all, and did not order the agents off the back of the car, okay? I didn't really want to get into this because this is supposed to be about Ripco Lawton and the Standdown at Love Field. But peppered throughout the book, you can see him protest this too much, okay? But again, read my CTKA free review, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You can just type in CTKA Kennedy detail, or just put the Kennedy detail on Google. I think it's on the first page. Understandable, justifiable mistake. In the big scheme of things, not a big deal. Even the Secret Service endorses my point of view.